Can you tell us anything whatsoever?
Come on, I know you just give us. Can we have one more station?
What is happening, everybody? I am the Reverend Raph, joined once again by my good friend Kyle, aka the Beer Buddy.
What's going on, everybody?
And we also have with us our new mates from So I Says to Mabel. We got Jackie, Doug, and Jono. And it is time for the quick question quarter, spelt with Q's, not K's, because we don't roll like that. So basically, this is where we just go through some rapid fire questions, try and get a bit of an understanding about how our guests got started, what drives them, what inspires them. So without further ado, we're going to dive in with the first question for everybody. What was the first instrument that you learned to play?
Piano.
Guitar.
Drums.
Oh, nice.
Very, very nice. Very nice. I like that. Nice and I think, how did you find the do you still play piano much at all? Or?
Not really. They're kind of hard to move around.
Very true.
You can't really pick up a piano and jump around with it.
You should get a guitar.
Yeah, you could get a guitar. You could go Orpheus Omega.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they use a
I'll
guitar.
consider it. Consider it.
Play bass on a guitar, one gig.
Yeah, we'll have our synth pop punk wave.
There you go.
80s
There you
synth
go.
pop.
Yeah,
Kids are right into it.
Yeah, right. Like rejig the songs to work with a more like synthy vibe, synthwave kind of energy. You know, it's got place for it. I mean, look, if the
100%.
grunge and punk stuff's coming back around, it's not going to be long until the '70s synthwave comes back around. You know what I mean?
Look,
And then you can be the first punk 70s synthwave band.
What was the first album that you each purchased? Maybe not. Doesn't have to be the first one you necessarily got, but like the first one where you're like, I fucking want that. And
it's not the Wiggles.
Yeah, not like the Wiggles fucking shit that your parents got for you when you were, you know.
Okay, that makes better.
Well, I know that my first memorable one was actually Nimrod by Green Day, and I actually got the I don't know if you guys remember, they used to have like the guitar like tab books or whatever.
Yep.
So I actually got both the Nimrod album and the guitar book. So that was
Hell
cute.
yeah.
I remember those things, yes.
The quote unquote official tab books that were like wrong on
Unofficial,
just about every other note.
Well, it's funny because I remember I learnt for some reason I learned the vocal melody on guitar, and I remember being so happy of like being able to play one of the songs, right? My brother's like, yeah, but you're not playing it properly. You're not playing the chords. Like, why are you playing the vocal melody on guitar? So yeah, trying to impress everyone.
Hey, look,
Because fuck you, that's why.
I had the Injustice for All tab book, which is notoriously one of the worst, most inaccurate tab books in history.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard stuff about that.
Yeah.
It's legendary. I've still got it somewhere.
Yeah. The black
Belongs in a museum.
Yeah, probably fucking does.
I still have it.
So what about you guys? What were your first albums?
Okay, so I'm gonna separate it into my phases.
Oh, okay.
We've got multi-stage.
Well, because before I knew about metal, I was more into just like regular like pop punky stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first album I got myself was Good Charlotte, Good Morning Revival. And I was like,
Okay.
Wow. I mean, I like that album, but I cannot imagine you listening to that album.
that's why I'm separating
Wow.
the phases. Because
Okay.
the next first that I'm saying is actually Cradle of Filth's Pornography.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah,
Big
quite
jump.
a jump.
That's a big jump.
Yeah. When I heard that, I was like, fucking hell.
Mm.
Yeah.
Nah,
So,
I'm not too bad. I'm like, so for me, one of the first ones was like first metal albums was Reload, right? Because that was what got me into it.
oh.
But then as I kind of went along the way, I'm like finding heavier and heavier stuff. And my friend's like, oh, let me show you this fucking band called Cradle of Filth. And it was like the Dusk and Her Embrace album. And at first I was like, I think this is a bit much for me. I think this is my limit. And now I'm like fucking Teeth, Black Tongue, fucking Filth, you know, all these bands that are just stupidly fucking heavy.
It's because you find your ceiling and then you just go one or two steps down from that. And then you sit with that for a while, and then your ceiling might move a bit. The ceilings get a little bit higher.
But I also find as well, because I have that musical appreciation, when I heard Dusk and Her Embrace, the quality sucks, but I could listen through it.
Yeah.
You know, and now it's one of my favorite albums.
Oh, masterpiece. Fucking masterpiece. It truly is. Truly is.
It's beautiful chaos. Like, yeah. Now, John.
So
The youngin.
there was 2 albums that I really wanted to get. I don't think they were my first, but they were close to my first. It was Absolution by Muse
Oh, solid.
and Jeff Buckley Grace.
Nice.
Cool,
Okay.
yep.
They're 2 first.
Look, there,
Yeah.
and they.
And then I think my very first, I went to JB Hi-Fi and got. This was like not that long ago, but it Life Is But a Dream by Avenged Sevenfold, their new album.
I was gonna say, bear in mind, this is a young. He
Yeah,
is 18.
Oh my
Yes,
god!
Mark.
He's
Okay.
about age.
He doesn't have opinions yet.
Not at all.
I was gonna say you may never have bought a fucking album at that
yeah,
age.
I was surprised that, yeah.
Good on you
the
for such good taste too. Like Muse are the most metal, non-metal band ever.
Yeah.
And like Jeff
Yeah,
Buckley's
because
just
of the
great
band at the
for just a musical for just studying music in general as like a great example, songwriting and all sorts of great stuff.
Yeah,
Lots
definitely.
lots you can learn off of that, which is awesome. All right, what was your first live concert that you guys attended?
So it was. I forget the year, but I remember the lineup was. So the opening band was High on Fire, then Shadows Fall, then Devil Driver, then Lamb of God. It was at the Luna Park Theatre.
I went to that.
I seen you.
I was like 15 or 16.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
Big
I
Top.
was
Luna
fresh.
Park Big Top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't.
I got a
Shadows
concussion.
Fall, man.
I got a concussion. I crowd dove for the very first time under my brother's instructions, and I went over the barrier, and the security guard accidentally dropped me.
Oh no.
Well, yeah, so I had a lump on my head for the rest of the night, and I was just like, "Is this the crowd?"
Damn. That's about. You know what? Do you know what album Lamb of God was touring at that point?
I'm not sure, but I remember
Right.
I can't. Was
Yeah.
it? I don't know. I
Would've been
saw him
rad.
I remember seeing them for the Wrath tour, and I don't remember.
I remember that. I
Oh,
remember
fuck.
that being at the Big Top.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
No,
was-
that one because that was when they toured. They headlined that
Yeah.
particular one, and they
'Cause-
toured with Amur, I think,
Yeah.
for that particular one. I don't know. There's a couple of shows I'm probably getting confused at the Big Top, but I'm like,
Oh, it's like 13 years ago. No one remembers.
Yeah. I had a concussion.
Yeah. Yeah.
My first one, I feel really young, but it was 2 years ago when Foo Fighters came.
at least it was a good choice.
It was Foo Fighters, The Chats, and Hot Milk or something like that.
Oh, I like hot milk.
I didn't like Hot Milk.
Don't cry over it.
Okay, fine.
Foo Fighters are solid as.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They were great.
but I hear that they have a very long show.
It is,
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's
it was
worth
a
every
while.
bit.
They kept like expanding the middle of the songs, and
Yeah, no.
yeah,
No one needs
I
that.
think Green Day did that as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, they do. Green Day do.
I'm gonna make Jono jealous and say that my first gig was Muse on the Absolution tour. So that was 2004 at the Warden. Yeah.
Very nice.
I wasn't live then.
Fuck.
No, how disgusting is that? It was my first show. He wasn't even.
Oh, wow.
So 2000,
Fuck.
2004, that must have been the same year that they played Big Day Out.
Yeah.
I think it was actually because they
I
came.
went to that one too.
Because I saw them at Big Day Out. I remember
Yeah.
seeing them at Big Day Out.
Because they
Yeah.
came, they came earlier in the year, and then they came in September, which is the show I saw.
Okay, so that yeah, same year, but
Yeah.
later in the year. Big Day Out
Yeah.
would have been January, so.
I think I remember they played 2 big day outs in a row. One was during the day, and then the next year after doing that album, then they got like just before that, just as the sun was going down. It was
Mm.
it was
Nice.
mint. It was
Yeah,
mint.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm wearing a Muse shirt at the moment.
Yeah, nice.
What is an instrument you've always wanted to learn but haven't yet?
Probably violin or cello.
Ooh.
Good shout.
Yeah, I have always wanted violin as well. I want to learn piano properly too,
Yeah, I think piano as well.
like properly.
Yeah, I can like half play it, but
Yeah.
not well enough to say I play it.
Yeah.
I tried doing violin, but then I got as far as learning the bow technique, and it's basically like the weirdest awkward hand position.
Yeah.
And like when you're just holding your arm up for like it just gets tiring. So
I reckon if you can make the bow sound, you're pretty much like you're sort of halfway there.
yeah,
But
how
if you
much
can get a consistent bow sound.
yeah, but then like because there's no frets as well, so you are very reliant on your ears, and it's a wacky place because your arm is holding it up and trying to fret. So you're doing 2 points of strength, whereas down here is obviously a lot more comfortable. That being said, maybe cello would be the more serious move.
I had the same. I've had a shot at cello, and I found the bow grip was really, really weird. I was not quite doing it right, and my hand ended up cramping after a while because I was probably holding it too tightly. And it's a whole thing.
It's a very rigid version of guitar.
Yeah, but it sounds amazing when you can nail it. Sounds amazing when you can nail it. And the whole thing's tuned in fifths, so power if you want to do power chords, that's super easy. So
yeah. It also makes when you go for like ninth chords more interesting as well, or even just your scale climbs.
Yeah, it allows you to do lots of fun stuff there.
I think I changed my answer. Actually, I want to learn double bass.
You'll change the game.
If you could pick one big band or artist to open a show for, who would it be? You each get your own picks here. You don't have to agree on one.
I mean, there's what's realistic.
No.
This is not realistic. This is like fantasy world.
The heart gets the pick.
Oh. Shit.
I mean, we can't make it happen for you or anything.
Yeah, you guys do it. I gotta think.
I'm gonna give you two. The boys are gonna be so sick of me. If I say Australian band, I'm gonna say Claire J. Gladstone. Easy goal. They're local boys. We can do it. If I'm gonna say international, I'm gonna say Blink-182 because they're my favorite.
Yes. See, that's what we're talking about.
I was gonna say Blink.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
So we're gonna win. We're gonna support Blink.
I think my three picks Okay, so if we're just going strictly like Australian bands, like I'd love to open for King Parrot. I think that'd just be fantastic. And then I don't know, in another world, opening for Devin Townsend would be awesome.
Yeah.
That reaction, sorry.
It's a shame that he's stepped away from music for a bit too.
Yeah.
He's not kind of doing stuff as he's not really doing live touring for a while or anything, right? Like he's stepping away a bit.
To be fair, I figured out Devin Townsend and strapping young lads were the same thing. Way too late in life. I ain't gonna say when, but it was way too late.
It was yesterday.
Yeah, no, it's one of the first things I tell people whenever I talk about it, because it's like, hey, check out this guy. Yeah, sings like an angel. Yeah, check out this guy. Same guy. Like,
yeah,
different but same.
I love seeing reactions when people do reactions to his it's like Kingdom or something like that, and they just jaw is on the floor at this voice that's coming out of this dude. It's like he's a goofy guy and he's playing super heavy stuff, but he can sing like fucking few people on the planet. All right, sorry, wrong question. I already did that one. Who is a band or artist that you're listening to at the moment that you think is underrated and deserves more attention?
So I says to me.
You got anyone?
Unwritten Law. I feel like I don't know. I feel like they're not that known.
That's because you're young. Okay, they were So they were known when they were big. So when they had their moment in like 2004, they were big. They're in the scene. I think you've just missed the heyday of them.
Yeah, maybe.
Because now
who is that?
Unwritten Law.
Unwritten Law, yeah.
I don't hear anything about them.
Yeah, but that's because they were peak in the Black Album and Elva album. That's 20 years ago.
Oh, I'm too young.
Oh, God bless. We love him. I think a band that I've been digging right now is Winona Fighter. So they're an American band.
Winona Fighter.
Yeah.
I love these names.
Oh, okay.
I love these names.
I don't know if you've heard. But female fronted band, mad punk energy, like kind of similar vibe to us, I think, like where it's kind of like just, fuck you, but in a nice way. And yeah, I reckon they should be big. That's my prediction.
See, I think we need to get like a tour happening with like I Wrestled a Bear Once, Winona Fighter, Nicolas Cage Fighter, all these fucking
Yeah. That'd be cool, actually.
You got to
Just
try and
get it all,
set up.
just call
You got to
like-
try and set up the set list so it makes
Just-
the centers.
just call it like to the TKO tour, and you've got all like wrestling references and fighting references in the band names, and away you go.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, we want to set up a tour with Simpsons band references because there are a few of them floating
yeah,
around.
the fucking the Ned Flanders band or some shit. Like,
Well, yeah. Yeah, but
There's also Don't Praise the Machine.
that's the local one.
Oakley Dokley, isn't it? Isn't that what they call it?
Yeah,
Oakley
the Ned
Dokley?
Flanders one.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your band that's underrated?
Tis it St. Swiving's Day, Aunt Helga? Tis Aunt Helga.
Look, we just grew up there. It's to be fair, I could probably I got so many fucking friends that are just their vocal stems are all Simpsons quotes.
That's so good.
Yeah, well, who are you listening to that's you think's underrated and more people should pay attention to?
Well, I mean, my Spotify is kind of littered with just my own stuff at the moment.
Yeah.
Like,
Got to support the brand.
I've been like very focused on other things. Yeah. So
Fair
I don't
enough.
really know the answer. Yeah.
Fair enough. What is something people may be surprised to learn about you?
Sometimes I have to wear dresses to work.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I hate it when they make me do that too. Like,
Well, if you see me on stage, you're going to think that's a girl who wears dresses to work.
That's true.
All right, there you go. What do you guys got?
I don't know.
I will say I was shocked to learn that you were only like just 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm young. That's
But if you see him in person, you'll see he's got a very fresh face, as opposed to us, who have not fresh faces.
The thing
Barely
is, though,
legal.
when I was like, we had
So,
the same thing when I was in Tensions Arise though. Like right when we started gigging, our drummer was very young. Like he had basically, like he turned 18 like a few months before we started playing gigs, and the rest of us were in like our mid-20s. So we constantly like something happened back, and we were talking about an album or something that had come out, and he was like, I was like 5 when that came out. And so then from then until now, the joke has continued that like whatever we talk about, it's like, oh, he was only 5 when that came out. He doesn't know about it.
Bitch, he a vampire, but he hasn't aged a
Yeah,
day
no,
in
that's
that time.
true. That's true. The kid, he still looks like he did when he was fucking 18. It's crazy. He's like,
Yeah.
he's fucking 30s now, and he just looks the same. It's
He's still,
insane.
you know what? I worked it out, Raph. I've worked out what he does. He joins bands and
all-
sucks the souls out of all the other band members, and
It's all that
takes the-
cardio that he does playing drums for like 10 different
takes,
fucking bands.
Takes their youth.
maybe I should try that.
He's actually 400 years old, but he
Yeah.
just-
I don't know. It's hard to think of something. You guys know me. What shit have I said? That's
He's a nerd. He plays Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh yeah, that'll be one.
oh,
okay, cool.
That's mad.
I think ultimately a lot of metalheads are just really nerds at heart. I'm loving that that's something that's being embraced more these days. Like we're able to just do that sort of stuff.
I'm waiting for disposable income, and then I can get into the One Piece cards.
Well, I mean, it's better than the classic, metalheads do drugs things. At least when I spend my money, I have something.
Mm.
I do that too, but
All right. If you could only listen to one album for the rest of your life, what album are you picking?
What kind of a question is that, brother? I'm gonna go Enter of the State by Blink.
100%. If I'm a Blink fan, you just
Yeah, you got to do it.
get out of my
That
head.
intro, like Dumpweed, best intro guitar riff of an album ever.
Accelerated Evolution by Devin Townsend.
Mhm.
Ooh,
Mhm.
solid.
Any DDP album's going to be like a range to it. You know what I mean? So you're pretty safe choice there.
I think for me, either Absolution or Showbiz by Muse, because the Showbiz has got sort of like heavy and light stuff, I guess.
Yeah, I think
Like-
yeah. I would choose Showbiz.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it has the biggest range of
Nice.
songs.
Yeah.
And last question to take it home. What are you most grateful for about your involvement in music?
I'm gonna say it's probably cliche, but the people that we get to meet, like it's funny when I look at my phone and look at Messenger, and it's like everyone I message is all people I've met in the past few years from the scene, and I think that's really cool. So I think, yeah, I'm just really grateful that I've been able to make so many friends, like bandmates included, but just from other bands and people that we meet at the bar or the sound people, like just everyone involved. It's so cool. So
Yeah, man.
yeah. They're not grateful for anything.
Yeah.
He's only 18. He doesn't know.
Yeah.
hasn't learned to be grateful for anything yet. He just,
I think.
I mean, and he's a ginger as well. So like, you know.
I think a similar answer to you, but being able to meet like really talented musicians and all that, and being able to like get inspired by them, I guess.
It's good.
Hurry up. Yeah, we're running out of time. We've got 5 seconds left.
Pressure. I know it's hard to think because it's like I don't know. I feel like I'm the bitter one. Like I feel like I've been up and down with music so many times. But like I guess what I'd say I'm grateful for is just that, like whilst people suck, music is always great. like you can do anything with it. You can mold it into whatever it is that you want or need at the time. So I guess, just grateful to have music in the first place. Really grateful that it's the access. Grateful that it's so, what's the word?
Diverse, I guess.
Diverse, yeah, but also like how to make it is a lot easier now. Yeah, like we're not recording things on tape anymore. For example.
Oh, accessibility.
It's accessibility. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yes, especially to good recording equipment, pre-production, stuff like that. 100% agree.
Yeah, like and it's sort of like the what is it? I don't want to reference the porn rule. If you can think of it, it's been made. Yeah, that's what kind of music is now.
Yeah,
like there's so many people working on it. It's like everything's combined with everything. You can find reggae gent if you want, probably. Like, and if you can't find something, well, then you can just create it.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
So it's like
something to fit every mood, I guess.
Exactly. Like, and I think that's why we go towards music, because we're sensitive and we have these emotions, and it's like I feel something. I need that specific thing to voice it.
Yeah.
Like, so I guess that's where I'm grateful.
That's great. That's amazing. Well, thank you so much, guys. We really, really appreciate that. If you haven't checked out the podcast episode yet, everybody, please go back and check that out. It's a great chat with these guys. And we will have Get in the Bin coming tomorrow. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. If you've had a good time with us today, please consider hitting that thumbs up button there. If you don't, download the shit out of it. We will have links to everything that So I Says to Mabel has going on down in the description, so you can go and check those out. And other than that, big thank you to our guests so far. As I said, we'll be back tomorrow with another video, but take care of yourselves and your mates, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.
Peace.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We really hope you had a good time. If you did, please consider hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell down there. It helps the channel grow. We are still a fairly young channel, and we like to try and grow our audience all over the world. We do also, for those of you who are interested, have a Patreon. It's just a couple of bucks a month. At the moment, you get all the videos early and ad-free, but we are working on ways to increase the value of that and make it a bit more enticing. So don't forget to keep an eye out and check back on what's going on over there. Other than that, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day.